Okay, hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm standing for this video because I have some of my favorites behind me, and this is my September favorites. I have quite a few of them, so grab like a drink or something and keep watching. Okay, so I first want to start out with shows because I have a lot of shows that I've been loving on Netflix specifically. I'm gonna start out with Ozark because everyone's talking about it. Season 2 just came out, I think like 2 weeks ago or so, and it's really good. The first season's amazing, so if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend watching season 1. And if you have seen the show, watch season 2 because it gets really intense and I'm really excited where it's gonna follow. But I love the actors in it. I think that it's great. It's very like dark, mysterious, lots of like crime, cartel kind of thing. So if you're interested in like action, dark, I don't want to say murder mystery, but it's like a crime series kind of, with a lot of other things like family issues and relationships and things like that, and also like it gives a good insight into a small knit community kind of thing. And I just think the actors are great. I think it's definitely a show that most people would like if you're over the age of like 16. So definitely recommend Ozark. Season 2 is the new one that came out. I also want to mention Terrace House, which is something I discovered a while back, but I kind of fell off of it. And then one of my friends was rewatching it, and I really was inspired to start watching the series again. And it's specifically, first one that I think is on Netflix is Boys and Girls in the City. And it's this Japanese reality show, except it's kind of not entirely reality, but it's done in a way where there are like 6 roommates, 3 boys, 3 girls in a house, and they are all chosen from the TV show to be living together as roommates, and they're all single generally and looking for a relationship. So people on the show go on dates together, and in that aspect it's like a reality because they're all individuals, real people, and it kind of shows how they get along on in the house and who ends up dating, blah blah blah. I really like it because it kind of gives an insight to Japanese culture, and I am planning on visiting Japan in the next year or so, so I'm kind of trying to learn my Japanese again, watching more shows that are in Japanese of like native speakers, as well as I'm getting into a little bit of anime again. I also wanted to mention they have another one that's a newer series, like a newer season of that show of Terrace House, and it's called Opening New Doors, and it's filmed in a different city, not in Tokyo. And they also have one that's filmed in Hawaii. It's called Aloha State. So there's 3 different ones that you can watch on Netflix if you're interested. And I do recommend it. I think it's a good show if you like reality TV or Japanese culture. And going on with that, I started watching Attack on Titan season 3. It's on Crunchyroll, that's where I've been watching it, and it's really good. It was a long gap between when they did season 2 and now like the latest season that's coming out. So I forgot a lot of stuff, so I had to kind of like refresh what happened because I don't read the manga, so I'm like really behind on it. But it's really good. I definitely recommend it if you like anime and you like action and shonen series. It's really good. It's probably one of my favorite animes, like at least the first season. I think it's just really good. So if you haven't seen it, the Japanese name is Shingeki no Kyojin, I think is the pronunciation. But if you do search like Attack on Titan, it should show up. And it's a good anime. I feel like for people that aren't into anime, it's a good way to get into it. And yeah, I could go into the plot and everything, but I don't want to spoil anything. So just look it up if you're interested and you like anime. The third thing I want to talk about is another series on Netflix, and it's called Explained, and it's done sort of like on a weekly basis. So every week a new episode is uploaded onto Netflix, and so it's kind of a cool thing where you can go back and rewatch and like watch it, and it's not like you just go through the whole series at one time. And it's basically just explaining different topics to the like general public. So specifically there's 2 that I really wanted to recommend, and that is the most recent episode that they did, which is called Music, and it kind of explains how music affects humans in terms of like socially and in terms of like work. It just talks about like the whole history of how music was formed and how it affects our day-to-day lives. And it also is kind of done in a bit of a documentary series where they go and have like an actual artist and I don't know, I don't want to go into it too much, but it's really, really good and it's informative, and I really like that they are doing something like this, like an educational kind of series. Well, Netflix is really good on documentaries. There's also another really good one that I've been watching called Reversing Roe, which I just finished, and that talks about the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court case and abortion in abortion clinics in America, and it's just really interesting. If you are someone that wants to be informed on issues, I definitely recommend that documentary, but also the Explained series. There's another episode that they did on women being paid less, and it talks about the pay gap in America specifically. It does touch on like the whole world, but the main focus is definitely United States. But I also think that's very interesting to watch, and you learn a lot, just not just about like the reality of the pay gap, but how it's really calculated and how it and why it differs. Basically, it not only tells you about the issue, but explains why. And again, Explained is the name of the series, but I do really, really love it. I think that there's a lot of really good episodes on it, and I recommend it. There's also one on esports, which I thought was really interesting, because I thought I actually learned some things that I didn't know, despite being someone that does play video games. But yeah, so I recommend that as well. That's gonna be my last show of recommendations. And I also did a few things that kind of got me out of my comfort zone this month. I took Pilates for the first time, like a legit Pilates class with a one-on-one with an instructor, and that was at Pilates 804, and it was really hard. I thought that Pilates would be kind of easy. A lot of people compare it to like yoga and things like that, but I would say it's nothing like that. I think it's a lot like strength training. It's kind of like going to the gym and doing weight training, like with machines basically. And I think it does help with your posture, but it's so expensive. It's something I do want to continue trying, but it's not something that I sort of fell in love with. I think Pilates is very difficult, and you really need an instructor that's, you know, they know what they're doing, because I feel like you can easily get injured if you don't have someone like that. So I recommend trying it to someone that wants to work on their posture and also their core strength. And they really do. I mean, the instructor that I had, who was like the owner of Pilates 804, she really knew what she was doing. She was very educated, but again, it's so hard. Like, you're really sore the next day, and it just felt like I was at the gym and doing machines, which is not something that I like. But again, I'm glad that I went and tried it. I also tried cycling for the first time in my whole life, and I did that at Boho Cycle Studio, and they have two in the city of Richmond, and it's kind of like Soul Cycle. It's just like a smaller boutique kind of thing, but I really liked it. If you like EDM music, or like you need some like a class atmosphere to really get out and exercise, I recommend it. I don't think it's for everyone, but I had a good time and I really liked it. I liked it more than Pilates, so I might go back and try cycling again. But I really loved the studio. Everyone that worked there was really, really nice, so I wanted to make those two recommendations because I want to try to inspire more people to work out and exercise. And I think that going in a group setting, if you're someone like me that's, you know, kind of shy and intimidated to go to the gym by yourself, I love group classes because you're around other people, and there are people that are starting out and beginners just like me, so it's not as intimidating going by yourself, like being by yourself and not really know what you're doing. So I do recommend trying that. Okay, I also I wanted to talk about food, because I have a lot of food favorites actually. Starting off with fried rice. This past month I have been in my own like apartment and stuff, and I've been able to actually cook, and fried rice is something that I love, but if you order it out, it can be really unhealthy depending on what oils and how they make it. So I've been learning how to make fried rice by myself on my own, and I'm gonna try to link a recipe that I've been following below, but you basically just buy like whatever vegetables you want, and then I get like a 99-cent packet of stir-fried seasoning and cook rice in like a rice cooker, and then mix it all together in a pan on the stove, and it tastes so good. And I think it's really great for people that want to meal prep, and because you can always put them in containers and then like eat them throughout the week, and I've been doing that and I love it. And it's a good way to, like, if you don't like vegetables, if you season it with stir-fry seasoning, it tastes really, really good. So I recommend that if you want to try something that you love, like Chinese food, but it's kind of unhealthy and you want to make it healthier and you also want to save money. I recommend trying to cook it at home because it's not that hard actually. And I also wanted to mention this other recipe that I've been doing. It's like a protein shake, and I got the recipe off of Fit with Cambry. She's this kind of like blogger, Instagram model girl that also is really into fitness and eating healthy, and I'll link her Instagram below as well. But she has this protein smoothie recipe and it's so good. It's like protein powder, dates, almond milk, banana. It's really simple, and ice, and it's like really simple to do. So I have a recipe written down and I'll put it in the description if you want to check it out. As well as in terms of eating healthy, there's also like green smoothies or like green juice. I love this grocery store called Elwood Thompson's. It's in Richmond. They're like a organic kind of independent version of Whole Foods, so way more like local produce and things like that. And they have really good green smoothies that I want to try to make at home, but for now, like as a treat, I'll go over there and get something, and it's generally really healthy, like kale and spinach based. But yeah, those are like my favorite things that I've been having this past month. And along with that, I'm not going to talk about makeup or anything because I don't really have any favorites. I haven't really bought any new products, but I do want to talk about certain YouTubers because I've been watching a lot of YouTube. It's probably like my favorite pastime. There's a lot of content creators that I love, and I'm gonna start off with Amy Lee. She is a LA-based creator. She is a graduate of UCLA, I believe, and she has a series called The AM with Amy where she talks about a variety of different things, from like self-confidence to being more productive, just like a very like helpful kind of like best friend kind of vibe from her channel. And I really love how positive she is and how hardworking, and I really wanted to give her a recommendation for her channel because I really like her content. And she's not like a huge YouTuber, she has like a few hundred K, I think. And then going on with that, there's this mommy blogger, ex-model YouTuber. Her name is Valeria, and she's was born in Russia but lives in Canada now, and she's amazing. I think she's really inspiring, and she also has like similar content. She has a lot of beauty, but she also has really funny vlogs. I love her sense of humor. I think she's hilarious, and she's really fashionable. So if you want someone that is like a really great vlogger, if you want to watch vlogs, I think she's like the best at that. And also she does give a lot of good advice because she's married and has kids, and I don't really watch many YouTubers that are that later in life kind of situation. So I recommend her. She's really awesome. Her Instagram is really cool too. I love her style, so if you want like an example of like the kind of style I like, and someone that's just really positive as well, I recommend her channel. And then going on with that, there's another girl that vlogs. She's also a huge like Instagram blogger, and that's Negan Mersalehi, and she is Iranian, but she lives in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. And she does also a lot of vlogs. She has this cute dog that makes me want a puppy so bad. And she's just like the very typical like girl boss, runs her own business, daughter of immigrant parents. She's very, you know, inspiring. She's so productive and really hardworking, and very relaxed. Like her vlogs don't give me anxiety. Like she's very down to earth, I feel like, very you know, personal, and I really love her vlogs as well. So vlogs are something I've really been into this past month. There's a lot of really good vloggers on YouTube if you're interested in finding any of them, but those are definitely like my top 3 favorite content creators this month. But I also wanted to mention something that I was surprised that I really enjoyed, but if you've been following the news, you'd know that they're trying to, you know, confirm a US Supreme Court justice, and Brett Kavanaugh was nominated, and on YouTube they had a live coverage of his entire Supreme Court hearings, and it was like 5 days of hearings from like 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. and I was like watching them non-stop because it was really interesting. It was like the first time I'd really gotten to see like front hand all of the different senators and people in Congress and all of the types of questions and legal issues going on today, and that kind of inspired me to watch that series on reversing Roe that's on Netflix that I recommended, because it kind of, I was surprised at how many questions were on that issue, and I think they still have videos of the hearings on YouTube. If you want to Google Brett Kavanaugh's hearings, it should show up. But I think it's kind of important to stay on top of the news, and you know, a new person on the Supreme Court is a big deal in terms of legal aspects in the future. So that's another favorite of mine. And I think that's pretty much it. I also wanted to mention I went to Porter Robinson's Virtual Self concert this past month, and it was really, really fun. And I'm going to probably make a separate video of the songs that I did film during the concert, but I loved going. It was really fun, and I'm planning on going to more concerts in the future. But yeah, that's my favorites. I hope this wasn't too long, and definitely recommend checking out those channels I mentioned, and let me know down below if there's anything you want to see from me. If you have any other video recommendations or anything like that, I'm more than happy to accommodate them. I know someone comment below if you are who I'm referring to, but someone wanted to see my top 10 favorite books of all time kind of thing. I tried making a list and it ended up being 30 books, so I'm going to try to consolidate it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to filming that as well, if that's what you're interested in. If you want me to review any certain products too, because I know my AirPods review got really good views. If there's something else you'd want me to review, whether it's an Apple product or some sort of tech product, let me know. Again, thanks for watching this video. It means a lot. Check out my social media. They will all be listed in my description. And I have a Patreon, which I do photography on mainly. Again, check out my other videos because I have a lot of other content that I filmed. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have amazing month to come. I can't believe that summer is over. It's crazy. Summer is my favorite season, so this is hard for me transitioning into fall. Also, let me know below. I know that the EU decided to end the whole hour switch up with daylight savings, and let me know what you think. I feel like the US should follow suit with that, because I hate the hour change and everything. I just think that it shouldn't change. It just causes confusion for everyone, and it just makes it get dark so much earlier. Hope you enjoyed my favorites. Yeah, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and yeah, love you. Bye!